Welcome to REI Pro Talk, where real estate investors turn for the latest news, tips, and tricks from the real in the trenches pros. Tune in to hear Chris Goff, the nation's premier real estate investing powerhouse. Join up with other top pros in the investing world as they cover every topic. No fluff, no filler, no holds barred. All you need to know from start to paycheck.
Hi guys, you are the best. My question is a property. ARV is $400,000. The balance owed is $200,000. Now the seller is willing to take monthly payments, but wants a substantial down payment to move. What's the best way to buy this property? Can I let her do a cash out refinance and then buy it with a wraparound mortgage? Thanks.
All right. So I thought I'd actually spend a little bit of time and really break this one down. Now, again, I don't have all the facts here. My very first question is, what does the seller even want for the property? Are they just wanting to walk away with this property, but they want, a bunch of money down so they can move, right? So that's kind of the, when I pick apart certain things and I look at emails, especially from students, I'm looking for keywords like move is the one, right? So they want to move. And they're obviously open to payments, which is already good. So it shows the motivation is there. They need cash. So cash is really the thing that we have to concentrate on. Now, seller financing obviously would be the strategy here. If they owe $200, it has to be a wraparound mortgage because there's already existing financing on this. But now that would be the easiest thing to tell you is, look, seller finance it, put a wraparound mortgage. Obviously, you need to find out what is considered a substantial down payment. Is that $15,000 or is that $50,000? What is substantial? I think that's going to be different for everybody. But, without understanding the cost of repairs and all that stuff, let's just assume this is a great deal. Let's assume that this is one of those I call home run deals. I want to give you one example, and this is one of many, but just one. And I want you to try to follow me here as best you can. And this is really for everybody. So yes, we would want to do a seller finance. And I want you to look over to the left of your screen where it says purchase seller finance. So if the ARV is 400, the seller owes 200. Let's just say that a substantial down payment is 50 grand. So we want to give the owner 50 grand. Okay. But we can't give her the 200, then 50, because he's not going to take that 50 and apply it to their mortgage balance of 200. So we would ultimately have to buy this at 250 minus the 50 that we're going to put down. And that will bring our balance to the exact same balance of what the owner owes to their bank. And I hope you followed me there. I would set an interest rate at 3.5%. We would amortize this loan over 30 years to keep the payments down, but do a 5-year balloon, meaning that we're going to make monthly payments to you for up to 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, whatever the balance owed, we will cash you out. So taxes and insurance, I just put $360 a month. Total payment, $1,258.09. Can't even say that. First thing you want to do is obviously understand what are we going to do with this property, right? So we would actually know this before I even made the offer. Now, one exit strategy you could do is a lease option in this case. And again, let's just assume that the house is in great shape. Again, you could play with these numbers and maybe if you play with the numbers enough, maybe this way wouldn't work for you, but it is one way. So we're going to sell this property on a lease option at 400 with 15,000 down. And we're going to rent it out for $2,500 a month for 12 months, only 12 months. If you need to go longer, you could always renew it. After 6 months, you could refinance this property. There's a very good reason why you'd want to do this. Okay. And I want to get to it. So the ARV is 400. Maybe we get a 75% on the 400, which will be 300. Maybe our new interest rate is 4.5%, amortized 30 years. Tax and insurance will stay the same. Total monthly payment is now $1,880. So now keep in mind where I used to, I bought this house for $250, put 50 down, I owe $200. Now I've actually created more debt on the property at $300. Okay. Now I would never ever do this if I didn't think I could cash flow. Okay. So I know I'm renting it out on a lease option for $2,500. I know that I'll have some cash flow. So this refinance is number one, going to pay the existing mortgage off from the seller. Okay. So doesn't matter that I said I would go 5 years.
Getting excited over here teaching all this, right?
I'm so used to standing doing this. And a lot of people, if you see me live, like I use my hands a lot and I'm hitting crap and all that stuff. So the first thing that gets paid off is going to be that existing loan. Now, although you have 5 years, you have up to 5 years. You could pay them off. There's no prepayment penalty with the seller finance. You could pay them off the very next day, but up to 5 years. So this is also going to pay you back the $50,000 that you put down. Okay. So ultimately this is going to leave you $50,000. Okay. So keep this in mind. $300,000 new loan comes in. It pays off the $200,000 existing mortgage from the seller. You're done with the seller. They're not in the picture anymore. Plus recuperates the $50,000 that you put down on the deal. Okay. So the best part about that $50,000 is it's tax-free because you're not going to pay taxes on borrowed money. Let's just kind of fast forward. The buyer buys at the end of 12 months. So remember, their sales price was $400 minus the down payment of $15. They owe me $385. So the new purchase price is going to pay off my existing debt at this point because now there's a new loan on it of the $300. So we're not going to build any equity in, this short amount of time. So I'm just keeping it simple for everyone. So 385 minus 300. Of course, there will be some closing costs in here, but just keep the number simple. 85,000. So remember, our profit center is going to be a little bit different because we broke it up. So the first 6 months is our first profit center is we made the down payment of 15. Then we have cash flow. You can see I'm breaking it down, 2,500 minus our total monthly payment. We had $1,200 in cash flow times 12 or 6 months, 7,400. We also refinanced that and got 50,000 back. So think about it. At this point, I have zero money invested in the property at this point. Okay. So that's a total profit of 72 grand right there. Now we go to the last 6 months. Now our cash flow has gotten eaten up, but who cares? I have all this tax-free money that I won't have to go pay taxes on. If I didn't refinance it and the lease option buyer bought it, I would have to pay taxes on all of that different spread. Okay. So cash flow is only 3,700 in that 6 months, still good. We profited from the difference in the sales price at that 85 number. It gives us 88,720. So it gives us a total profit there, Bo, 161,000. Now, keep in mind, this is just one way. There are numerous other ways that you could have structured this deal. And I think that's the important part is that I wanted to take you down one road because yes, I like the seller finance in this situation. I think that is the strategy of choice, but I don't know how much in repairs this home needs either. I don't know some of the other facts that, need to go into this. So you could adjust these numbers accordingly and you would still profit very well. I would say this would be best case scenario. 161, not too bad. They don't happen every day, but they happen. And, you have to think about how many of these deals do you need to do a year to replace your current income? And that's the beauty of one thing I love about real estate is it only takes one sometimes. So it's a good deal. So I hope you can take some of this information. Sometimes you be a little bit creative. Some people will say, Chris, I can't refinance it. Well, then don't refinance it. You don't have to. I refinanced it because part of that income that I made is now tax-free. Okay. Plus, in this example, I didn't put any repairs into this property. Okay. Which maybe this property needs repairs. I don't know. So again, I don't have all the facts on it, but wanted to take you down a road. If you ever get into a seller finance situation, there are numerous seller finance strategies, by the way. And when I come up with this new seller finance training series inside of REIPro, I'm going to share with you a couple of other cool seller finance strategies, especially ones where you need cash out of the deal. So there's one called subordination. One, we actually did a seller finance, and we call it substitution of collateral. And instead of the seller taking back the mortgage and putting it on the house, we used a boat as the collateral, which would free up the house, which gave me new financing on the house. And it was more of an income raiser. And then I took that finance money and then I moved it into other projects because it's an easy way to get money. Now that sounds very bizarre, and it is kind of bizarre actually. You know, how many sellers will put the collateral on a boat versus the house, but they're out there. But so we're going to be talking about all kinds of creative financing strategies, and and not just the standard seller finance. But hope that helped.
Thanks for listening to REI Pro Talk. If you've ever wanted to jump into the real estate game, get started with the #1 software for real estate investors on the planet, REI Pro. Start for free at www.myreipro.com.